Council, if we are ready to continue, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. The witness is being ushered in, please.
Thank you.
The witness would speak in Wolof, he would testify in Wolof, and he would give his closing remarks in the Mandinka language.
And we will continue with our normal swearing-in procedure.
Interpreters, are you ready? Proceed, please.
I, Sering Omar Faal.
Man, Sering Omar Faal.
Man, Sering Omar Faal.
Do swear that.
Mange watne.
I'll speak the truth.
Dina wax dëgg.
The whole truth.
Dëgg bi yépp.
And nothing but the truth.
Duma fi wax leneen lu dul dëgg.
So help me God.
Kon Yàlla dimbale ma.
Serigne bu Santa Fall day buleet man ko door a gis ab faalen kañ ak jaasi la daan am. Welcome Serigne Omar Faal to the TRRC.
Serigne Omar Faal ñu ngi la dalal fii ci TRRC.
And thank you for agreeing to come to testify.
Di la gërëm li nga nangu pour ñoo joxe fi sa seede.
Before you commence your testimony, I just want to inform you that it is a criminal offense to lie before the TRRC.
Bala nga commencé joxe sa seede nag ma bëgg la xamal ne TRRC ku fi ñëw fii waat ba pare da nga yàq luwaa nag bu fekkee ne wax nga fi lu noonul dëgg.
It is also a criminal offense to give a false evidence under oath.
Te it boo waatee ba pare tamit joxe fi loo xam ne nekkul dëgg da nga yàq luwaa.
I have met with you before.
Daje woon naa ak yow ca gannaaw.
And I noticed that you tend to speak very fast, very rapidly.
Te seetlu naa ne nag sa wax kàddu bi dafa gaaw.
So for people to understand your testimony very well, I encourage you to speak a bit slowly and more clearly.
Ngir nit ñi mun laa dégg bu baax nag maa ngi sàkku ci yow nga dalal sa wax ji xaw koo yéexal tuuti.
Are you ready to proceed?
Pare nga pour ñu commencer.
Please sit closer to the microphone and raise it up a little bit. Draw your chair closer. Yes. Okay, raise the microphone a little bit. Yes. All right, thank you very much. What are your full names, sir?
Naka nga tudda?
Sering Omar Faal.
My name is Sering Omar Faal.
Thank you. What's your date of birth, if you can tell?
Boko mu ne wax kañ mooy sa bisu juddu?
I thought I gave you the card.
Yes, I just wanted the evidence to come from you. Your card says 1958.
Waa jox nga ma ko waaye dama bëgg kàddu gi bàyyeekoo ci yow ndaxte carte bi liñ ci binda mooy 1958.
What is it?
Where were you born?
Fan nga juddoo?
Yalal.
Which of the Yalals were you born?
Ban ci Yalal yi?
Serigne Omar, foo jaar may lapato kat bi mu lapato bala nga tontu.
You allow the interpreters to interpret before you respond.
Ban ci Yalal yi nga juddoo?
Yalal Tankunjal.
Yalal Tankunjal.
Badibu.
In Badibu.
What is your profession?
Lan moy sa liggéey?
Man béykat la.
I'm a farmer.
I hear you are called Serigne Omar Faal. Do you also work as a Serigne?
maa ngi gis ne ñu ngi laa ooyee Serigne Omar Faal ndax yow sa liggéey tam bokk na ci di mbiri Serigne.
Yes.
Did you receive any education before you became a Serigne?
Balaa nga doon Serigne ndax am na fenn foo jaar ci sa wàlli njànga?
Waaw.
Yes.
Could you tell us about it?
Wax ñu naka la?
Ma jàng Tuba laa ko def.
I studied in Tuba.
Where specifically in Tuba?
Fan ci Tuba.
Suñu kalifa général bi nekkoon kalifa ba wàcc doom Serigne Tuba Serigne Saloum Mbacké.
Under Serigne Saloum Mbacké, the son of Serigne Tuba.
He was the then Khalifa General of the Murid sect. Serigne Omar, when you speak, don't try to look at the interpreters. You are speaking to the commissioners. Speak directly to them.
Serigne Omar boy wax jarul ngay gesto di seet lappatookat yi ñi nga jàkkaarloo noonu muy commissioner yi ñooñu nga war a jàkkaarloo nga wax.
ñooñu nga waxal.
ñooñu nga waxal.
And you said you received your training in Tuba under the tutelage of Serigne Saliou.
Nga ne yaa ngi jàngee Tuba ci ron Serigne Saliou Mbacké.
Wow.
Yes.
Did he personally teach you, or you were taught by some other teachers?
Serigne Saliou ci boppam moo la jàngal ndax dafa am ñeneen ci ay jàngalekat yoo xam ne ci ñeen doon nga jàngee.
li ma wax ne àdduna yëpp mu ngi maa dégg Tuba ñu ngi maa déglu man kenn ñàkkul suma Serigne Serigne Sarr rek mooy suma Serigne moo ma jàngal.
What I'm saying, the whole world is listening to me, the whole of Tuba is listening to me. Serigne Saliou was my teacher.
At what stage in your life did you go to Tuba to study?
Ban jamono ci sa dunda ci nga dem Tuba pour dem jàngi fa?
Fekk maa ngi am daanaka fanweeri at ak lu teg.
At that time, I was 30 plus years.
And what kind of education or training did you receive from Serigne Saliou in Tuba?
Ban façon ngi njàng moom nga jàngee ci loxo Serigne Saliou Tuba?
Man Serigne Saliou man Serigne Tuba moo balaa ma jóge fi dem Tuba.
Serigne Tuba was the one that directed me to him when I left here to go to Tuba.
Man ma demal mu jàngal la nga ñaanal ma ko.
He said to me, go and he will teach you and you will pray for him.
And did you do that?
Loolu nga def.
Wow.
Yes.
And what kind of education did you receive from Serigne Saliou?
Ban façon ngi njàng moom la Serigne Saliou jàngal?
Jàngal na Alquran.
He taught me the Al-Quran.
And that's all, just the Quran?
Alquran rek la jàngal.
Wow.
Yes.
And how long did your tutelage or your education how long did it take in Tuba?
Sa njàngam Alquran boobu nga doon def Tuba ci yan diir la ñaata at la wala ñaata weer?
Man ka bi ma nekk su loxoom te mu ñaanal ma jàngal ma mu ne ma léegi bàyyi naa la waaye dangay nekk suma loxo fi.
When I was under him, after teaching me, he told me that you are still going to stay under me here.
That is after completing the education, after completing
Loolu
the study.
fekk na nga jàng ba jeexal sa njàng.
Wow.
Yes.
And how long did that take?
Loolu ñaata at la tollu?
Diir ñetti at.
Within 3 years.
And after those 3 years, what did you do?
Gannaaw ñetti at yooyu loo def?
Maa ngi Tuba.
I was in Tuba.
Did you remain in Tuba or you were traveling back and forth, Tuba and Gambia?
Danga des Tuba dëkk fa ndax dang doon dem ak ñëw Tuba ak Gambia?
Dama dem des tuuf damay ñëw Gambia.
I used to stay there for a while. I used to come to the Gambia as well.
What connections did you have in Gambia at the time, apart from the fact that you were born here and you had extended family here?
Lu ute nak ne Gambia nga juddoo te yang fi am ay mbokka ban jokko nga am ak Gambia ba tax ngay daan dem ak ñëw.
Mujibi ay talibé yeneen talibé dama day ñëw ci yeneen talibé fi ba kër sëriñ fi am naa fi jabar fi kër sëriñ.
In the end, I used to come to some of the disciples here, so that in the end, I was even able to have a wife here in Ketsering.
In 2006, did you come to Gambia?
Atum 2006, ñëwoon nga Gambia.
Wow.
Yes.
And during that period, did you happen to have any connection with people who were accused of planning a coup d'etat?
Jamono boobu nag ndax am nga benn jokkoo ak nit ñi nga xam ne dañ leen tuumaal ne dañ doon fexe pour daane nguur gi.
Man amoon jokkoo de man dama nekkoon Tuba because 2006 March.
I did not have any connection because in March 2006 I was in Tuba.
Dañuy def magal at boo dafa tombé dimanche.
After the magal, which was on a Sunday.
Then magal bi jeex.
At the completion of the magal, one of my disciples, he came from England and he said he wanted to come to Tuba.
He or a she?
Jigéen.
It's a woman.
Proceed, please.
Jigéen bi mu woote mu ne moom dafay ñibbi Angleterre aljuma.
The lady called and said that she was returning back to England on Friday.
Was she Gambian or some other nationality?
Moom waa Gambia la wala juddu beneen réew la?
Beneen réew la.
Another country.
Waaye Angleterre foofu la nekk.
But she was resident in
White
England.
or black?
Nit ku weex la wala ku ñuul?
Ku weex.
White lady.
Yes, proceed, please. Continue.
Léegi kooku mu ne ma man damay ñibbi aljuma dama bëgg a gis la.
She said to me, I'm returning back on Friday, but I want to see you. I told her I cannot come. Because the visitors I have with me here, I'm still with them. And so she reported me to Tuba. And she said, in the name of Tuba, I want you to come so that I can see you. I don't have a visa to come to Dakar, but if I had, I would have come to meet you in Tuba. Your wife left on Thursday. I wanted to come on Friday. So she reported me, so I left here on Tuesday and I went. I came here. I called her and I told her that I have arrived. And she told me that she was at one hotel in Kirsering. She asked me, where are you here? I told her, if I are coming, just take the route that leads to the Alcalo's compound.
Did you eventually see her?
I saw her.
And how did you come to be in connection with people who were accused of planning a coup d'etat?
Léegi naka nga fexe ba jokkoo wante nag ak nit ñi nga xam ne dañ leen tuumaal ne dañ doon fexe pour def coup d'etat.
Remember, now you have left Tuba after the Magal. You are in Gambia.
Fàttalekul nag ne léegi bàyyeekoo nga Tuba gannaaw Magal bi léegi yaa ngi biir Gambia.
Waaw bi ma nekk Gambia fi ma nga ñoo ñu bari xam nañ ma fi.
While I was in the Gambia here, many people knew me.
Abdou Din këram mu ngi Kersering fi.
Abdou Din's company is here in Kersering.
Booy wàcce kër garage auto Kersering yi de auto yi dem Kersering. On your left.
From the garage, if you took the vehicles going to Kersering on the left, that is where his house is situated. Called me on my telephone because each time I leave, I used to leave my SIM card with my son. He called him and said to him, I need your father. And he said to him, my father is in Tuba, he has not returned yet. And he said to him, your father has returned. And he said, no, my father has not come. They continued in that with my son until he left school.
Until he closed school that day. Yes.
He called him on telephone by 2 o'clock. My son came to me and gave me the telephone and said, Abduddin is the one online. I took the telephone and I spoke to him, and he identified himself as Abduddin.
But at this stage, you knew Abduddin before?
Yes, I knew him.
So what conversation did you have with him?
He said to me, a coup was on the offing, but it is been foiled. And once he said that to me, I rang off.
We were staging a coup d'etat, and it failed. The moment he said that, I hung up the phone. Continue.
Then he called again. And I said to him, Abduddin, I am older than you. You know my house. Don't talk to me on anything related to a coup d'etat.
Don't call me on the phone to talk about a coup d'etat. But why was it the case that Abduddin was calling you?
Lan moo tax Abduddin doon la téléphone?
The question is, why was he calling you about and telling you about this coup d'etat?
Lan moo tax mu doon la téléphone di la wax mbiri coup d'etat?
That is what I want to say completely. That's why I told him to come to my house.
Proceed.
When he came, he said to me, we were attempting a coup d'etat, but it has been foiled. We want you to assist us and take Nduru Cham to where you are in Tuba. I asked him, which way shall I use? They said that they had the pirogues. I told him, Tuba, before you see the sea, you will have to travel something close to 200 kilometers. And I told him that even myself, when I come and I find that the ferry is not in operations, I usually use the Trans-Gambia highway. I said, I am a stone. If I fall into the sea, which has no branches, and I told him, I cannot do that. I told him, I have a charm though, which if I give you and you hand over to Ndur Cham, it will enable him to leave this country and no one will be able to arrest him.
At this stage, did you know who Ndur Cham was?
Jamono bim la wax lolu xamone nga kan moy Ndur Cham?
Moy militaire. They
said he was the commander of the soldiers at the time. That was what they told me.
Did you know him before?
I have never set my eyes on him.
Abduddin, when he came to you, did he come alone?
Abduddin, ba mo ñew ci yow mom kenn ànd.
When he first came, yes, he came alone.
So after you told him about this charm you had, what happened?
Now boko waxe nak ne amna galaj bo len mëna dimbalé lu xew?
He said, well, let me call the one who was leading. I asked him, is he military? And he said, no, he's a civilian. So I asked him, what is his name? And he said his name was Aliou Job.
Former accountant general.
He said he was a former accountant general. He called him. And told him, speak to the Marabu. I said, no. Speak with him, whatever you discuss, you then tell me. He spoke to him. He said, he told him, well, if he says he can make it, let him tell you how much.
I told him I never charge anybody.
I told him I never charge anybody. I'm a disciple of Serin Salio. If you know Serin Salio, if you are wealthy, he prays for you.
As if equally, if you poor, he also prays for you. Please continue.
And I said to him, tell him to come and pick up this charm, since he wants this man to escape, and because if they catch him, they'll kill him. He wanted to come immediately, but I told him to wait. Let me check if there was any appeasements to be made. I will
any charities to be given.
I will tell him before he comes. He asked me what time. So
I told him because it's urgent.
I told him since it's urgent,
5 o'clock.
Let them allow me until 5 o'clock. After I prayed the 5 o'clock prayers, then they can come. He came with Abduddin and Ali Job. I told them I saw 3 charities. I told them 2 rams, but I will not kill them, I slaughter them myself. You will bring them yourselves and you will do the slaughtering yourselves. And you will divide it into pieces. And you should give all of it as charity. Not even a kilogram of the meat should come to my house. The other ram, leave it here. Let me pray in your presence. And we release the ram to go. Before it leaves my compound, you know, so no one will catch it here. And that is the same way that Ndurcham will leave this country and no one will apprehend him, if God wills. I gave the charm to Abduddin. I told him 1
is enough.
Is enough. But I'll give you 4. I told him this thing usually gets missing so quickly in someone's hands. It doesn't stay long with anyone. I told him I will give you 4. I gave him the 4 and they took them. Then I gave them to Abduddin and he gave it to him in my presence.
Who did he give it to?
He gave them to Ali Job in my presence.
Then you left.
Then they left. They went. That was on a Wednesday.
Then Ali Job.
I did not see him.
Then Abduddin meeting.
Abduddin came and said that he was supposed to go to Guinea-Bissau on a meeting.
That was on another day, right?
Oh.
Wow. Yes. But it said to me that the government have announced that no one will leave the country until they gave clearance. It said to me, assist me. If I do not go, I would be arrested. I said to him, then you have not told me the truth. You said that you weren't a soldier. Why are you afraid then? He said, well, you know, in the issue, many people know me. Myself and Ali Job, the 2 of us were in the office today, but
12.
At 12, he left and no one has seen him. If I do not leave today, it's possible that tomorrow I would be arrested. Then I said to him, it is not necessary that you leave. You just stay here. After he sat down for 30 minutes,
inshallah.
I told him the charities he has to make, and then I said to him, these people who said that they will not give you clearance, now if you go to them, they will allow you to go. And by God's intervention, when he went, they gave him clearance. He called me.
Dakar, Guinea-Bissau, then Dakar, then Manyo, Gambia.
He told me, I'm taking a flight to Dakar, to Guinea-Bissau, from Guinea-Bissau to Dakar, and then back to Gambia. He said to me, if I am coming, whatever I'm supposed to give to you, I'll give to you. I said to him, for me, it could be that you will not meet me here, because I'm not staying long here. I'll be returning to Senegal. I said to him, I told you, I did not come here because of you. The one who was responsible for my coming has returned back home. That woman gave me 500 pounds. And she said that was for my magal.
Then Abdudin
left.
Ali
Job was arrested the next day on Thursday.
Then that
day that he was arrested, he called me on the telephone. He said that his telephone, behold, his telephone was tapped. So the 10 individuals that he had called, all those individuals were arrested.
The last 10?
Yes. I used to have interactions with people, and my telephone is never off.
24 hours.
For 24 hours.
What conversation did you have with Ali Job?
Yow lan nga waxtane ak Ali Job?
Ali Job munema man de dama bëgg nga jappalé ma man ko lu xew munema
Ali Job said to me, I want you to help me. I said, what happened?
Munema militaire yi nga dañ leen arrest dañu wax tay dañu wara wax ci télé tay.
He said the soldiers that have been arrested, it's today that they are going to speak on television.
Man ko Ali Job yow soldat la.
I said to him, Ali Job, are you a soldier?
Munema dedet.
He said to me, no. And I said to him, then why are you afraid?
Munema dama bëgg nga jappal ma rek mu jox ma yeneen tour ñi nga arrest leen mo ne ñoom militaire yoy bu ma dimbalé bu ñu arrest ñoñ mu jox ma sen tour.
He said to me, I just wanted to help me, and then he gave me the names of some soldiers who have not yet been arrested, and he said that I should intervene so that they do not get arrested.
I should pray for them so that they would not get arrested.
Man ko baax na inshallah jox ma tour yi mu jox ma tour yi.
I said, well, it's fine. Give me the names, and then he gave me the names.
Which names did he give you?
Yan tour la la jox?
The
names of the soldiers who were yet to be arrested.
Do you remember any of them?
Fatale ko nga tour yi.
Wana tour ki Tumbul Tamba.
Tumbul Tamba's name he mentioned to me.
Lantombo. Ak Musa Jammeh.
And Musa Jammeh.
And
other names that I have forgotten.
And he mentioned those names in connection with what?
That they too were involved in the coup attempt.
Tumbul Tamba,
Lantombo, Musa Jammeh.
Proceed.
Egali.
I said to him, it's okay, by God's grace, they will not be arrested. I said to him, since you have said that you are not a soldier, and you know nothing about the coup attempt, I said, well, let's leave everything in the hands of God. Behold, he was arrested.
He was already in custody at the time he was speaking to you.
And I did not know.
Then,
that was on a Thursday.
Aljuma.
On Friday.
Samedi.
Saturday.
Dimanche.
Sunday. Monday, I left to go to a naming ceremony in Gunjur. The husband of the lady was an Ostas. He was having 3 wives.
mu takkat rek bu nekkama ñaaral ñeenti at amul doom ñu ne kii di góor ñu génn tas sëy bi.
And somebody he marries for 2-3 years and does not bear a child, they will accuse him of not being potent enough.
Then ma ñëw seen dëkk Badibu Gunjur.
So I came to their village in Badibu Gunjur.
Mu ne mu ñëw ak jabaram mu ne ma dama bëgg nga ñaanal ma suma jabar.
He came there with his wife and asked me to pray for the wife.
Ma ne ko pour lan mu ne ma pour jabar ma ne ko man duma yàlla de.
I asked him for what reason, and he said for a child, and I said to him, I am not God.
Ma ne ko yéen ustaas da ngeen di lambat.
I said, you ustasis, you are not always permanently in one place.
Ma ne ko yàlla soo koy ñaan da nga war a gëm li ma ñaan dama am.
I said to him, when you are praying to God, you have to have faith that what you pray for, you are going to get.
Yàlla boo koy ñaan nga am ñaar xel doo ko gis.
But if you pray to God and you have 2 minds, you don't always get what you want.
Mu reetaan.
He laughed.
No, man duma ustaas de.
He said he was not an ustaz.
Damay jàngale fii rek ñoo ne moo tax ñu ma ustaas waaye duma ustaas.
It's only that I teach here, that is why they call me ustaz, but I'm not really an ustaz.
Man dégg na yow bu ngeen nga ne bu ngeen sa xarit la.
I heard that you say Bunjeng is your friend.
Bunjeng mooy suma sëriñ.
And Bunjeng is my marabu.
Ma ne ko kon na léegi gëm naa la léegi.
Then I said to him, well, now I believe you now.
Ma ne ko inshallah.
I said, if God wills it.
Ma ne ko bu dee am na doom bu góor.
If she has a male child,
nga tuddal ko Serigne Tuba.
Name him after Serigne Tuba.
Ma ne ko bu dee jigéen la.
And if it is a female child,
nga tuddal ko Maam Jaara mooy yaay Serigne Tuba.
Name her after Maam Jaara, the mother of Serigne Tuba.
Yàlla def jabara ëmb.
By God's grace, the wife got pregnant.
Mu wasin mu nekk doom bu jigéen.
And she gave birth to a female child.
Moom tam mu sàmm kàddaam ñu laajte ñu ne man dama génn dama tukki.
And he stuck to his promise, and he inquired about me, and they told him that I had traveled.
Mu ne fan.
And he asked where.
ñu ne dafa tukki dafa dem beneen réew.
And they told him that he has traveled to another country.
ñu ne ko léegi dañuy aji ngénte ba ma ñëw ñu def ngénte bi.
So they said they were going to suspend the naming ceremony until I return.
Postpone.
Léegi ñu ñëw Magal Tuba.
So they came to the Magal in Tuba.
Mu ne ma sa ñaan bi nangu na.
He said to me, your prayers have been answered.
Suma jabar am na doom.
My wife has a baby.
Waaye dañ ko name after sa sëriñ yaayam waaye dama bëgg nga tawee ci ngénte bu mag bi.
We have named her after the mother of your sering, but we want you to be present at the naming ceremony.
Ma ne ko kañ la mu ne ma altine bii ñëw ni.
I asked him when, and he said the Monday coming.
Ma ne ko inshallah yi promise ma waaye bu dee mën nga ko puus mu ne aj nañ ko bi mooy bi ngi war a def yow laa doon xaar léegi.
I said, okay, but I said if you could postpone it, and he said, no, we had postponed it already, and it has to happen now.
Ma ne ko gis nga gan yi fii de.
I told him, but you have seen the visitors here.
Ma ne ko bu dee dem nañ.
If at all we went,
dinaa ñëw.
I will come.
I will come.
Léegi far ba ñii jigéen bi woo ma pour ma ñëw mu gis ma balaa mu dem Angleterre.
And that was how things are until this woman called me to see me before she returned back to the UK.
Jigéen bi dem na aljuma.
The lady returned on Friday.
Saturday,
Sunday.
Ma dem Gunjur si ngénte bu.
I went to Gunjur for that naming ceremony.
ñu ngi foofu ñu ngay gis militaire ñu ngay patrol pour xool Ndur Cham.
We were there and we saw the soldiers passing around patrolling, looking out for Ndur Cham.
Man maa jël sama boo jógee ñoo ba kër seen fanaan fi.
Nga ne?
Man maa jóge sama bopp Gunjur.
I came by my own from Gunjur.
Ma ñëw fanaan fi kër seen fi.
And I spent the night here in Kirsering.
Altine la.
That was on a Monday.
Talaata suma goroy fii dañu amoon dëkk suma gannaaw fi.
On Tuesday, my in-laws had a funeral here.
Ma ñëw man dama ñëw jaal because dafa dëkk suma gannaaw ma ñëw jaal leen.
Because it had happened in my absence, I thought I could go there and pay my condolences.
Ma delloo.
I returned.
Benn paa moom dafa ñëw suma wet.
One dad used to come to my place.
Ma ne ko tey dama sonn du ma mën a def dara ma ne ko dama jóge maagal noppal ma ñëw ci ndaws bi dem naa ngente fale Gunjur. I told
him I am tired. I just came from the Magal. From the Magal, I came and met a particular lady. From there, I went to Gunjur for the naming ceremony, and today here I am. I am tired. If anybody comes, tell them that today I am not able to meet anyone. The dad who is now late, Pafadera, was the muezzin at the mosque here in Fajara.
In Kirsering.
He told me I will not do it. We have gone to Sering Sali.
Pay our respects to Sering Sali several times.
Sering Sali, I will not just say he is your father, he can even be your grandfather. He said to me, he used to sit down from morning until night time, and people come there to greet him. And he said, you are our Sering Sali here. He told me, get up and sit down and pray for people. And I started. People lined up. I think only 3 people came in. The third person, even before that person went out, at that time I got a call from Kololi that they were in Kololi. I said, I am not in Kololi, I am in Kirsering.
At this stage, did you know who the caller was?
He said to me, Marena. I said to him, I am not in Kololi. At that time, Ali Job was in their vehicle and he knows me. He could not have missed the way. And what I am saying, Ali Job, as I am talking to you and Abduddin, they are listening to me. I do not know the 2 of them. He came and went inside. And I said to him, do you not see the line?
How did he get to know where you are in Kirsering? Because when they were coming to Kirsering, I told them when they come, let them go to the Alcalus compound. I am not someone that can hide in Kirsering. I said to him, go to the Alcalus compound. When I was coming to Kirsering, the people of Kirsering are listening to me.
They don't have garage.
There was no garage yet. I was the one who intervened and they were able to get...
I prayed for there to be a garage at Kirsering.
That time, the people of Kirsering, if they want to go to Serekunda, they will go to Senegambia
or
Sanchaba to both people. I asked the alcalde if they had a space, and he said by the mosque. I took soil. I prayed on the soil. And I threw it. And I said to him, vehicles will come here. 3 days. The vehicles started coming into Kirsering and calling out for passengers to Serekunda.
MashaAllah.
The vehicles used to start and then they will stop. So they went to the police and they prepared the documents. And they said any vehicle that takes passengers, let it come to Kirsering. Or they will take you to the police. That up to now, it's more than 15 years. Up till date, the garage is functioning. People of Kirsering, they are listening to me. If what I'm saying is a lie. But when I had this difficulty...
Just a moment. So you directed these people to come to the Alcalo's place. Do you know whether they did that?
Léegi nag nga digal leen pour ñu ñëw ci kër alkaali bi xam nga ndax def nañ loolu.
They did that.
And who directed them to your house?
Alkal. Kan moo leen digal sa kër?
Alkal.
And when they arrived, what happened?
Léegi bañ egg see nag lu xew.
Alkal xam na li mu gis ci gannaaw.
There was something that El Carlos saw behind. That frightened him. He had a vehicle. That was how he left the group and went away.
What do you think he saw that frightened him?
There were two small vehicles and two pickups with soldiers having big guns.
200 meters ñu taxaw pick up dañ taxaw ñu bàyyi auto bu ndaw alkal bi ñu ñëw.
When they came up to, they were left with just about 100 meters to where I was. The pickups stood there, and it was just two small vehicles and El Carlo who proceeded to where I was.
And
I said to him, do you not see the line?
And who was it that you were talking to, that you told that?
I don't know him. That was why I asked him if he has not seen the line. And he said, I was the one who called you on the telephone. I said to him, those who are seated here, you are not better than them. I told him, go and sit on the line. He said to me, my boss is the one who said that you should go. And I told him, go and tell your boss to come. I told him, excuse us, I'm discussing with someone and you are not supposed to hear what we are discussing. Go outside and wait. He went outside. When that person was ready and came out, someone was to come in, but then he came in again. He said to me, you are an elderly person. That is why I do not want to embarrass you here. When he said that, the hairs on my head stood. I knew that this was a government official. I said, so what now? And he said, come outside and answer to him. I said, well, tell him to come here and answer to me here. I said, do you not see the people outside here? Do you want them to know the reason why we came here? I said, well, let me get up. At that time, I used to wear two shirts. I had removed my bigger overall, and I was only left with my small shirt. I said, wait, let me take the big overall and put it on. So since my mind was saying to me that these people are people of government officials, the type of charm that I gave to Nduru charm, I had one of them. I said, let me pick one of them and take it along. I looked for it, but I couldn't find it. I looked into my bag, even though it's always inside my bag. And I did not see anything in my bag. I had one other charm. I said, wait, let me go and pick that one. And I made that all of the charms were mixed up. I said, well, since he said it's at the front of the gate, let me just go. And that was how I went out. As soon as I came out, he told me, get into the vehicle. I said, no. He said to me, get inside. I told him I'm not getting inside. And he said, I don't want people to know the reason why I came here. He said, just here, just here. The one who was in the vehicle opened the vehicle door. And then I went inside. He came inside too and he closed the door. Then I heard someone said behind me, where is your son? And I looked behind. And it was Aliou Job. I said, behold, this is it. I said, well, it's fine. I didn't tell me anything, and I just kept quiet like that. The vehicle ran for about 20 meters. The one who was driving asked, "Where is his mobile phone?"
In Mandinka.
Wow, she's Mandinka.
In Mandinka, yes. I said to him, "It's in my room." He stopped and he backstand. When we got to the compound gate, he said he sent a child to go and pick it up. I told him, "No, let me go and bring it myself." So the boy went and asked my wife, "Where's the dad's telephone?" She picked the telephone and gave it to him. My wife followed him. Because at that time I had not given her fish money to go to the market. That was how I put my hand inside my pocket and brought out $300 and gave it to her and told her to go to the market, that these people are taking me and I do not know where they are taking me to. And he said to me in Mandinga, "Where are you going to?" I said to her, "I don't know." Then they left. After we went for a little while, I think it's about 300 meters, we saw the military pickups. Two of them. Both of them had these big weapons, big guns. And they said to them, "We have now the Sering in custody." I said, "Well, this is not a small thing." All of that time, I was taking it easy. We went through the Costa Road. We went past the traffic lights. When we got to where they play the football, my wife was surprised. She called my line to know where I was going to. The boy picked up the telephone and said to her, "The dad is busy." That was where I wanted to bite
my ring.
My ring, so that the people will somersault and we all die. I said, "Seren Tuba," who was under the captivity of the Europeans. And no one will say that Seren Tuba has killed any white person. And if I, who is a disciple of Seren Tuba, I would not kill anybody. And I forgot that plan. I went along with them until we got to Banjul.
NIA. I know the NIA.
When we got inside, I knew this is the place. When we got inside, they took our belongings. But the boy whose name is Busod, I put the 500 pounds that the white lady gave to me inside the jacket of my mobile phone. I have not seen that mobile phone.
500 pounds.
I have not seen the 500 pounds. My son went there on several occasions. Eventually, they told him that if he went there again, they were going to arrest him.
Who did you give the mobile phone to?
That NIA Buso.
Kan nga jox mobile bi?
The NIA officer, that Buso.
Proceed, please.
Buso bo bente NIA bo mobile bi mu ko gis.
Up till now, I cannot see the mobile phone. This was how they took me.
Where inside the NIA premises did they take you?
Fan ci biir NIA fofu fa lañ la yóbbu.
Bo dugga ci NIA am nga am na story building.
As you get inside, you know there is a story building. You will go upstairs. That is where the place was. The people who were there were more than 30 people.
So you called it a panel, isn't it?
Well, they said that was a panel.
Could you tell us the members of that panel that you can remember?
Usman Sonko.
Usman Sonko.
IGP.
At the time, he was the IGP.
Lantombo.
Lantombo.
Tumbul Tamba.
Last name. Lang Tombong. Last name.
Lan Tombong naka la santa?
Tamba.
Tamba.
Proceed.
Tumbul Tamba.
Tumbul Tamba.
Musa Jamme.
Musa Jamme.
Aki Mohamed Aydara.
And Mohamed Haidara.
Mohamed Aydara mo neka suma loxo ndeyjoor.
Mohamed Haidara was by my right hand side.
Suma càmmoñ.
My left hand side, Fode Bare.
ñu bari.
Many others.
ñoo nekkoon foofu.
Were there.
ñu commencé di ma laajte.
They began to question me.
man leen da ngeen sonn waaye man de li ma la wax loolu laa xam de.
I told them, you will just get
What
tired.
did they ask you?
Lan lañ la doon laaj?
ñu ne dama am dara ci affaire coup d'état man xawma dara ci coup d'état.
Whether I knew anything about the coup d'etat, and I told them I knew nothing about the coup
man
d'etat.
ko Ndour Thiam ku ñuul la wala ku xees la dama ko waa lii la mel. musuma ko teg but.
I told them Ndour Thiam is someone I cannot tell whether he's dark in complexion or fair in complexion. I've never set my eyes on him.
Ndour Thiam tam musuma gis man.
And Ndour Thiam himself has never seen me personally.
man ko Aliou Diop.
I said to them, Aliou Diop. Abdouddin.
ñaari laa xam.
These are the two that I know.
te ñoom duñu militaire.
And they are not soldiers.
man ko Aliou Diop mu ngi fi.
I said to them, Aliou Diop is here.
laaj leen ko.
Ask him.
man ko laaj leen ko.
I said to him, ask him.
ñu ne ma waaye da ngaa wax bu ñu par da ngaa wax.
They said to me, well, when we are ready, you will speak.
man ko baax na.
I said, well, it's fine.
ñu nekk fa ba yor jot suma waxtu julli jot.
We were there until around 11 when my prayer time was due.
man dama war a julli fay naa ngi jot na dama war a julli fay naa ngi.
I told them that I have to pray.
ñu ne ma pray.
And they said to me, pray?
man ko waaw.
I said, yes.
man baax na.
They said, well, that's fine.
man ka insisté man danaa julli de.
I was insisting that I will pray.
gaa yi ne kii de dana bàyyi leen muy dem julli.
And then they said, well, leave this guy to go and pray.
ñu ne na benn militaire escort ma pour ma dem jàpp.
They said, let one soldier escort me so that I can perform my ablution.
mu ubbi wanag bi.
Open the door to the
mu taxaw ak fetal bi.
bathroom, and he stood there with a gun.
man ko bu dee sa papa moo nekk di saw da ngay taxaw xool sa papa.
I asked him, if at all it was your dad who was easing himself, would you stand there with a gun?
yaa jëme si boppam fu su nekk da ngay taxaw fii.
If it was Yajame himself, would you stand here with your gun?
man ma du ma wóolu ma la du ko ngeen da nga dee naaw man loolu fen la.
He said to me, I do not believe you. I don't trust you because they say that you can fly.
man ko na ngi dem.
I told him that's a lie.
na ngi dem.
I said, then, well, let's go.
bu ñu génne moromam mu ne ma paa bi yow tereyatal de nga ma ñeman sa ko ambe loolu jong na ay nga subu na nga def ko loro subu nak.
When we came, one of the friends said to me, Dad, you are so quick. Well, I said to him, Mandinka, this guy said that I was standing over me as I was easing myself, and normally I don't stand when I'm doing that, urinating.
Okay, I will go and duma.
And so that man said to me, Mandinka, so that's what he said to you. Then he said, well, let's go down. And he too held his gun.
You are testifying in Wolof. You will give your closing remarks.
Okay.
Thank
then boy manema nangi dem ci souf.
So this boy told me, let's go downstairs.
He
showed me the bathroom and told me to go in there. I had a Quran inside in my pocket, and I did not want to go with it inside the bathroom, so I removed it and I removed my overall. And I handed it to the soldier. And my prayer beads as well. And I went inside. I poured water. I urinated. And then I performed my ablution. And he said, no, don't perform ablution there. Come outside. I went outside and he gave me the kettle.
In the end, were you allowed to pray, to perform your prayers?
I prayed on the ground there. I did not go upstairs.
And after your prayers, were you taken back upstairs?
Yes, upstairs.
And what happened there?
That was where Tumbul Tamba gave orders that since I refused to speak, let the soldiers who were having their guns point their guns at me. I counted all of those people and they were 12.
And my mind went to Serigne Touba.
My mind went to Serigne Touba. That it was also said that it was 12 soldiers who pointed their guns at him. The order was that they should shoot him. I said, I have not Serigne Touba, but I see 12 guns being pointed at me. Just as we are here. If they should fire those guns, I was not going to be the only one to die. I knew that, and I said, well, if it comes to dying, then all of us here, we are going to die. I said, well, give the order, let it come. I said, when I'm sleeping and they want me to wake up, they collect me with a gun. I said that to him. But at that time, I was overboard.
And Hydra
was seated by my right.
Last day.
He said, you see, that's your last lunch. He said, here is super kanja. Here is roasted meat. He said, you Senegalese, you like chebujen. Here is chebujen. I told him, you are such a big liar. He said, you are such a liar. Baba Saw was seated over there, a little man. He got up from where he was. And he said to me, do you not know that this man is our boss? And then I'm telling that cassette, they will not allow it to go into public domain. I told them, even if you were Yaya Jammeh, I would say the same thing.
Did he do that? Did he do anything upon hearing that?
Man?
Yes, Baba Saho, you said he walked up to you.
He came and slapped me.
Usman Sonko
too came and slapped me. At that time, he was the IG.
Did anybody say anything?
Who will say anything there?
All this that was happening, you said there is a cassette. Was it being recorded?
Who are the ones in custody of the cassette?
No, I'm asking whether it was being video recorded.
What you are doing here, whatever you want to go out is what goes out.
But in that case, was it actually being video recorded? Yes or no?
That's what they said. I did not see the cameraman, but I saw the head of GRTS at the time.
Cinema di film baykat ñu xol lool mo leen ko liggéey Mor Sagna man xamna Mor Sagna bu baax.
I know Mor Sagna used to come to our village in Yalal and played films.
Man ko koku man dina ragal koku.
Do you think I'll be afraid of such a person?
But did you have a conversation with him, Modou Sagna?
Ndax amna ben kàddu yu dox sa digante Modou Sagna.
Waaw mu ne ma. Mo bëgg nga wax. Man ko bima ñëw nga def dañu binda ben ki xank blackboard def binda suma tour. He
said to me, I want you to speak. Because when I came, they wrote my name on a plank of wood and they put a string around it and they hooked it on my neck. And they said that he told me that they want you to go over television and speak.
What were you to talk about on television?
To talk about my involvement in the coup d'etat, and I told him that I am not involved in the coup d'etat.
Did they ask you to say anything to or about Yaya Jammeh?
Amna dara luñ la sax pour nga wax ko ci mbir Yaya Jammeh.
They told me to tell Yaya Jammeh to pardon me that I am part of the coup d'etat, and I refused.
That day, apart from the slapping by two individuals you mentioned, Baba Saho and Usman Sonko. Did anything happen to you that day?
Lu ute nak ak ñaari mbéj yooyu nga xam ne Baba Saho ak Usman Sonko mbéj nañ la ko. Am na leneen lu fa xew.
No. Okay. After your interrogation, what happened?
Gannaaw buñ la laajee noonu nag ba pare lan moo xew?
Talata la.
So on Tuesday.
You deal ma mile two. Bob ta 6 o'clock la ñu ne Usman Sonko moo ñëw mu ne no Tumbul Tamba moo ñëw mu ne allez sama mile two.
They took me to mile 2. It was Tumbul Tamba who came and told them to take me to mile 2 around 6.
You told us earlier on that when Ali Job called you on the phone, he asked you to pray for him and 3 other people who were part of the coup but were not yet arrested. And he gave you the names Tumbul Tamba, Musa Jame, and Langtombong Tamba. How did you feel when you saw these people in the panel?
Legi Aliou Diop bim la ooyoon ci téléphone bi daf la waxoon ne nga ñaanal ñetti nit yoo xam ne bëggoon na nga ñaanal leen Musa Jammeh Tumbul Tamba ak Lantombong Tamba léegi yow nga ñëw dajee ñoom jàkkaarloo ñoom foofu bi nga leen gisee yow loo yëg.
xawma leen de.
I did not know them.
Because Tumbul Tamba keroog gis naa ko man dama dégg Tumbul Tamba man kii de turam dégg naa turam.
That day I saw Tumbul Tamba, and I heard his name. Then I said, well, this guy, I have heard his name.
Musa Jammeh nga mo du numu bopam dafa man may diw.
Well, for Musa Jammeh, he exposes himself. He usually will say, I am Musa Jammeh.
Lantombong ngene kii mooy Lantombong.
Lantombong too, I was told, this is Lantombong.
Xam naa turam Aliou Diop wax na ma turam.
I knew him only by name. Aliou Diop told me his name.
But you were told, from your testimony, you were told that these people were also involved in the coup, but were not yet captured. How did you feel seeing them sit there and interrogating you about being involved in the coup? How did you feel?
Léegi xam nga yow dañ la waxoon ne ñett ñooñu nang leen ñaanal dañ bokk ci coup d'état bi waaye jàppaa guñ leen léegi nga ñëw yow nag ñu jàppala di la won ne da nga bokk ci coup d'état nga gis leen ñoom ñu ngi toog law yëg
ñoom ñu ngi bokk ci ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi laa laaj yow sa bokk ci coup d'état boobu lan nga naka nga gisee woon mbir moomu.
dafa nekk ci man cinéma.
It was a cinema to me.
Because yow ma ñaanal la.
Because you that I have prayed for.
Pour bu ngi la jàpp.
So that you will not be arrested.
Yow nga nag may woo pour laaj ci man daan bokk naa ci coup d'état.
And you in turn call me to question me whether I am part of the coup d'état.
Loolu cinéma la.
That is a cinema.
Did you make it known to them?
Ndax xamal nga leen loolu yu ñëw.
No.
So at the end of your interrogation, they took you to mile 2.
Gannaaw buñ la laajee ba pare nag ñu yóbbu la mile 2.
Yéen dafa ñu wax pour ma lekk ma nag gannaaw kii mën a duma tey mooy suma laas de moo war ko dafay fen duma lekkate duma dee. Dara dama ko bëgg mu woon wrong ma ne ko te duma génne mile 2 fekkal ma foofu. Wax naa ko loolu Fodé Barre mu ngi dund boo laaj Fodé Barre dana wax naa loolu.
They gave me food to eat and I told them, this guy said this is my last meal. I refused to eat. I told them that I will not eat to prove him wrong and I will still live. Fodé Barre is alive and he can testify to that.
No. Did you say duma génn te fekkuma mile 2?
Moom ay dara ma ne ko duma génne mile 2 tànk ñu mu fekk mile 2.
And I said I will not leave mile 2 until he comes there and meets me there.
ñu indi ma mile 2. Then mile 2 ma ne mile 2 li jar na mile 2.
Then they took me to mile 2 and I said, is this necessary to take me to mile 2?
They went to court.
They did not take me to court.
I'm a lawyer.
And I don't have a lawyer.
Court remind it.
I said court is to remand someone.
You know, we are mile to 6 o'clock. Because 6 o'clock.
The only delay at mile 2 was only up to 6 o'clock because I was checking my clock.
We arrived at mile 2 at 6 p.m. Proceed.
When we came, they took my watch, took my cap, and I told them the cap wasn't going. They wanted to take my scarf too. I told them it's not going. They wanted to take my bag. I said no problem.
My charms, so juice.
And my ring too.
The ring too?
Nothing will be left in your hands. They wanted to take my Quran too, but they didn't see what was inside my pocket. They took me. That was where I got to know Tamsir.
Tamsir who?
Tamsir Jase.
Tamsir Jase. He said, where I am, I don't have a mattress. I said to him, you were the one that I was fearful of. I thought you were if I had known that you were an accused, I would have asked you to come along. He said, I am here for 3 days, and each day they used to beat me up. I said, why did you not tell me?
Apart from Tamsir Jase, did you find there any public figure, any notable person?
Lu ute ak Tamsir Jase ndax gis nga fa keneen ci ay nit ko xamne ku siiw la
bi ngi dem ñu fanaan
when we went there and spent the night
ñu fanaan bor set
next day
bu aral bala
that was on a Wednesday
nga bes bo la nga wara dem ci lel nga bo naka julli demulo ci lel ben de julli de
that was the day that we are supposed to go for the what do they call this the initiation ceremony. Yeah.
Legi aral bobu lañ wara dem lel bi
that was the Wednesday that we were supposed to go for the initiation ceremony.
Même suma nek suma bo goudi 12 su jot dama jogi def manaf la
even I'm on my own by 12 I used to get up and make my prayers.
By midnight I do my nafila.
Ma jog jappa
I got up and perform my ablutions, after which I noticed someone knocked on my door. And then I saw that the cell door, my cell door was open. I said I was slow in performing my ablution. I was waiting for...
I said to myself, I wish I had performed this ablution earlier. Someone is coming to my rescue. Little did I know that I was going to be in serious trouble.
Because when they opened the door, what I saw, the people who were in balaclava,
in charge for Omar Koli.
There was one
name Jagai.
Lantombo was in charge, Omar Koli. They call him Jagai.
I saw one person there. Langtombong was in charge of him. He's called Jagai from Mandinari.
Wow. Lantombo moko indi for mile 2 pour état bi pour képp nga da ngay génné goudi moy ñoo jël sa tour. Mota képp ku ñaa sa mbokk réer na téyel Jagai.
Lantombong was the one they brought there so that anyone who was being taken out of the prison will write your name.
How do you know that?
So that anyone who was...
prison officer,
anyone that was taken out of prisons at that time at night, it was Jagai. It was Jagai who normally come with the prison officers. And MC Cham is here. He can even be my father. I know him very well.
My question is, how do you know that Jagai was placed at the prisons by Langtombo?
Naka hamene Jagai Langtombo moko tek fofu ci prison bi.
Prison na ma nga fa juroom ñent at.
I was in prison for 9 years. What I know about the prisons, even David Colley, who is director, doesn't know it.
Okay, but because you've made an important accusation against Langtombong, I just want to know your source of knowledge, your source of information. How do you know that Jagai was placed at the prison or posted at the prison by Langtombong?
Xam nga li nga wax fi tuuma bu rëy la ci kaw Langtombong loolu tax ma di la laaj naka nga xamee ne Jagai Langtombong moo ko ebal foofu ci kaso bi.
It's not an allegation.
Langtombong ngi Gambia fi.
Langtombong is in the Gambia.
Okay,
here.
Let's do it this way. Jagai, which government service did he work for?
Jagai moom ci ban fànn la liggéey ci
nguur. State House.
At the time, he worked at the State House.
Was he a military officer?
Military officer. He
was a military officer, and up till date, he's working.
At the time, what position did Langtombong hold?
Jamono bobu ban mahama la Langtombong yore won?
Lanta mo xam nga jamono bobu mo nek bi ki génn Ndur Cham mo nakon oversee.
At that time, when Ndur Cham was out of the position, he was the one overseeing the military.
So your belief is that because Lang Tombong was the acting head of the army, he must have posted Jagait to the prison.
Bon da yow li nga gom moy jamono joju Lan Tombo mom lañ denkon njit yaagi ci soldat gi bon men lolu motax nga fokk ne
Jagay du ko do neub Jagay du ko do neub jantam mo ne man lant mom moy pot ku woy def lutax mo gomul lolu tam man nek na fa ñew suma morom suma gañ yob ngi ni suma gañ mu suma yaram fi suma morom rek la yob militaire rek la yob hôpital
Jagay
wala ki wa docteur rek la ñew ci office David.
Jagay never made a secret of it. He said it himself. My wounds are here as testimony.
Mo suma boss
step by step. Okay. Did Jagait say to you that he was posted there by Lang Tombong?
Lola mo.
Ñu jël ko ndanka Jagay ci bopam mom dafa la wax ne Lan Tombong moko fa ebal.
Momo wax lolu.
He said that to me himself.
Okay, let us proceed. On that early morning, midnight, your cell door opened, Jagait was there in front of you. What did he say to you?
Wa legi haji guddi bobu sa buntu sel bi ubbeku Jagay taxaw jakarlo yow lan la wax?
Munuma kay.
He said to me, come.
Man harama jël suma haftan bu bayna haftan ci biir bu bobu mo nekk suma darab bobu la doon lal.
I said let me collect my haftan. It's inside because I had used it as my bed sheet on the floor.
Because man bi may duga Marrakech la mu ne Marrakech di duga mile 2. Marrakech la am ñu ne Marrakech di duga mile 2.
When I was going to the prisons, I had these particular shoes they call Marrakech, and he said that one does not go into mile 2. So I went into mile 2 barefooted.
Okay, and did they take you away?
Yes, they took me away.
Were you alone when you were taken away? MC Cham
is in the Gambia. Ask him. We were in the same vehicle. Myself and him. I knew that they needed me because as they got inside, I was identified that this is the Syrian.
That is when you arrived at mile 2.
mile 2.
But the night we were going, it was not any peaceful at all. I said, I have to be very smart here. They handcuffed us behind. And when we were coming, we were not handcuffed. So I
when we were being taken to the prison during the afternoon, we were not on handcuff. But this time around, early hours of the morning, I was taken in handcuffs. I knew that it wasn't going to bode well for us. Proceed.
They took 2 plastic bags and they hooded me with them so that we would not know where we were going to. After they put the 2 plastic bags over here, God put air into my mouth and I...
The plastic bags got into my mouth.
Okay.
I bit on it, I chewed on it, and there was a hole through which I was able to breathe.
And they did not know.
They did not know.
We continue.
We continue. When MC Cham came and was trying to climb, they pushed him and he fell over. And I said to myself, I have learned something from you. Well, I said, my hands are also handcuffed. I cannot climb. And as they tried to hold me, as I put my head inside a little bit, I fell on the soldiers there.
MC
Cham was screaming that the handcuffs were tight. Mine were not tight, but I was also screaming that mine were tight. We went like that until we arrived. I said, here, I am not going to be the first to alight. I don't speak English, but I heard them saying, the Marabu is here. I said, here, I'm not climbing down, except if you come and pick me up. MC Sam alighted and they started beating him up and they said, "It's the sitting," and he shouted back, "I am not the sitting." They said the sitting is on the vehicle. They brought me down. They started beating me up. I said, "This is not a joking matter now." But they were taking it 7 apiece. After the 7 beat you and are done, the other 7 will come and beat you up.
Were you able to recognize those who were beating you?
I didn't get that.
Were you able to identify any one of them?
No, I could not. But when they called their names, I used to memorize it.
Did you hear any names being mentioned?
Wow. Yes.
Which ones?
Malik Jata. He took a knife. He shaved my beard.
How did you feel about that?
It's been more than 30 years since I last shaved, and that was where I cried.
Why did you cry? Why did you cry?
That is the way of the Prophet. He said, if you want to identify a Muslim, it's through the beard. Even if you died in the bush, your beard will identify you as a Muslim. So I said, why would he do this to me?
You thought it was an attack on your religious beliefs?
I cried because there was a time I was looking for a visa to go to England, and they asked me to shave my beard, and I told them I would not do that. Even the official there suggested to give me his own money to go to a barber to shave, but I refused. But I said I would
my sponsor asked why I didn't do it, and I said, even if I had saved my beard, God could have taken my life even before I get to England. So I would. So okay, all right. So I refused to save my beard because this was important to me. So let us proceed. Apart from saving your beard by Malik Jata.
He took a knife and threatened to kill me.
To slaughter me.
I thought he was joking, but when he started to cut and I saw blood coming out, I said, this man is not joking. And at that time, he was smelling, the stench of alcohol was coming from him. Even in their vehicle, the stench of alcohol, kana, drugs, you get it at the NIG.
So, but what happened? He started to slaughter you? He started to slaughter me, but someone came and told him to stop. I can swear, I swore by the Quran here. My belief is that that intervention must have been made by Serigne Saliou Mbacké. When he took up the knife, this was where he stabbed me, Malik Jata. Sana Manjang. If he is in the Gambia or anywhere, you'll hear me. He took a razor blade and cut my ear. There was one other boy, a jungler. I don't know his name.
man nag maa gaañ waaye doo mën a dagg suma tànk man du ma ñëw fii de ma génne benn tànk mu commencé dagg.
You took my foot and placed it on a block and told me you said you were sitting.
You wax Malick Jata bàyyi kooku ñëw encore.
You are going back with one foot.
mu ne ko bàyyil sëriñ bi moom tam mu yëkkati paaka.
The same person intervened and told him to leave the sering alone, to leave the marabu alone. He too stopped and he lifted off the knife. Just a moment. The person who placed your foot or your leg on the brick and started cutting it with a knife, you said you can't remember his name. Is that case?
Tekke ci ko hair commencé na dafa dog sa tanka bi nga ne mënuloo ko xàmmee.
wax naa la ma ne ko Ismaila Jammeh wax naa la ko
Ismaila Jammeh.
bi mu ko dagg kii ñëw ma ne ko Ismaila Jammeh foofu laa xam turam.
When he was cutting and this guy came and called him Ismaila Jammeh, that was where I got to know his name.
You said something like Jongo. Do you recall exactly the name of that group of people?
dang fi tudda lu melni jongo la ndax yow fatale ko nga kurel bobu ñom ñan la
tam ma fatale ko bi Malick Jata ki xam nga ki Malick Alhaji Martin ñew na encore yok suma mbuus suma bop encore
Alhaji Martin came and added the polythene bags over my head.
nga ñaare yu bu ñëk dugga bo matna bu
No, the first two that they put over my head, and then he came and added other two.
Ngelaw ñoo encore ufo lool ngelaw mu uf mbuus bi encore mu dugga sama gémme
There came
ma matt bobu
inside, and I also
foofu la jël marto
on the
marto door sama maa ngi am sama scanner fi
I beat on the polythene bag, and that was when
who did that?
Alhaji Martin.
Your testimony is that Alhaji Martin did what?
nga ne lan la Alhaji Martin def?
Alhaji Martin mo bi mu duggal mbuus sama mu jël marto door sama man.
When he put the polythene bags over my head, he took a hammer and hit me on my head.
Bi ma ñëw biñ ma door ba ñëw.
How did it feel when you received that blow?
Bi mu la dooree marto bi.
I fainted.
Man dama daan.
I fell.
ñoo seen bo dem jaaxle ngeen this man is dead.
They were even scared, and they said this man is dead. There was one lady. I forgot her name, whether it was Mariam Denton. What they did to her, it's not necessary for me to narrate, but she knows it. She was a lawyer. When I was going, I went with MC Cham, but I went together with her. She was so weak that they thought she was dead. When we were coming, they were scared themselves, and they said the setting is dead.
What do you mean? You mean when you were being returned to Mile 2?
Mile 2.
At this stage, where was MC Cham?
That was where I left MC Cham.
That day, as you were being beaten, were they asking you questions?
They asked me if I knew anything about the coup d'etat. I told them they would kill me, but I know nothing about the coup d'etat.
You were returned to Mile 2 afterwards.
Were
you taken to the NIA again?
Yes, after 2 weeks. They took me back, but they did not beat me.
But how about your other fellow detainees? Because a lot of people were arrested with regards to this case. What happened to them?
Léegi nag yow sa yeneeni morom yi nga xam ne dañ la jàppandoor ak ñoom yëpp ci benn mbir mi ñoom lu leen dal nuñ mujjee.
Man maa nekkoon first cell boo duggoon number 5 comme xam nga dugg ci biir.
I was at the first cell. When you get to confinement, that was where they put me because they said they did not trust me. They thought that I would fly away. But they did not know that was the best cell in number 5. Because there you can get Others will say that their cells were hot, but I was just quiet.
Others would say number 5 was hot, but I wasn't feeling it. It was the best cell to be in.
Because I had 3 windows. Small window.
What happened to the others?
Kan?
Wasa Kamara was so beaten that when I saw him, I felt sorry for him.
Who else did you know was beaten?
Permendi. Christian. When they took him for the 3rd time, he was electrocuted.
For the 4th time, he was electrocuted. And who else did you know was tortured?
Bunja Dabo. He broke his hand. When I came, I told him that they hit me with a hammer. I told him that I was hit by a hammer on the head, and they said that's not true.
Wednesday.
Go ahead.
Wednesday is good. Wednesday lay ma def lool. Thursday is good. Friday. Thursday is good lay moy farin sanya.
They did that to me on Wednesday. Thursday in the night, they took farin sanyang and they broke 2 of his teeth. I asked him what happened, and he said to me in Mandinka, they broke my tooth with a hammer. And I said to him, if you said this to me, I'll give you a nasty slap. Since I was telling you the same thing yesterday and you denied it. You know, I told you that you are a jungler. So now what has broken your teeth? I asked him, what broke your teeth? And he said it's a hammer. I said if I do not think carefully, I will beat you so badly because.
You mentioned MC Cham having been there. Was he the only politician who was detained there at that time?
MC Cham
like Conte. MC Cham like Conte. And one Lebanese. I forgot this name, but a native of Makati. How I got to know, because when he saw Wasa, he addressed him as his younger brother. And that was when Wasa told him, this is a disciple of Tuba. And
how about Sirif Diba? Was he?
Sirif Diba.
They did not beat him. But when they electrocuted
Gambia.
They did not beat him up. They did not beat him up. But the night that Per Mendy was electrocuted, he was terrified and crying and he was wailing. He was not beaten, but his problem was he was so terrified that he got sick. In fact, in the morning, he could not go to take bath on his own. He had to be taken by people. I said to him, well, for you, if they are taking you to where they took us for the initiation ceremony, you probably would have died.
Let's get this straight. The members of the panel were not present when you were being tortured.
Léegi ñi nga xamne ñoom nga wax nonu ñoo bokk ci panel bi ñoom teewuñ woon ba nga xamne ñu ngi la doon def metital yooyu.
Kay ñu ngi fa.
Of course they were there.
Ñu ngi fa. Dañuy do lay gis waat ñoom ñu ngi fa.
You will not see them, but they were there.
That is just your belief, right?
Loolu mo am.
That is what happened. Okay.
Loolu mo am de.
That is what happened.
So ultimately you were prosecuted.
La gannaaw bi nak ñu yóbbu la code.
Wow.
Yes.
And you were convicted.
Wow.
Ci la yoon daan.
Yes.
Tëj la.
What was your sentence?
Ñaata at lañ la tëj?
Fukki at.
10 years.
And how many years did you serve?
Ñaata at nga tëdda?
Juróom ñeenti at, ñeenti weer, fukki fan ak juróom.
9 years, 4 months,
15
and 15 days.
How did you come to be released?
Naka nga def bañ bàyyi la nag te fukki at yi jotagut?
Balaa boobu dama wax gaay.
Before that, I said to them, I'll fast consecutively for 3 years, and I'll only break fast on prayer days. One day sorry.
Just a step backwards. You received severe beating at the NIA. Did you say anything about Jammeh that angered the soldiers to give you that terrible beating?
Dafa am dara lo wax ci mbiri Jammeh lo xamne mom merlo soldat yi bañ door la door yu miti yoyu.
Kana bima wax de mané ko gis na ko ngi dawal welo.
I said I saw the end of his government and I saw him riding a bicycle.
And you think that angered the soldiers?
That is what I thought.
So,
nobody knows me in politics.
So afterwards you served your sentence, you fasted 3 years, you showed that you would leave Mile 2 alive, and it would be on a Friday. Yes. Proceed.
There is a Christian. He was the one who prepared my food to breakfast every day. I sympathize him so much so that in the end I even forgot my own condition. They never wanted Père to leave prison. They wanted him to die. So he called me and said to me, my father, assist me, I'm a Christian. He told me, I saw what you said to Wassa, and it was one time they took him, and I senior him. And you, it's only one time I saw that you have been taken away. I said to him, well, this thing just caught me unawares. If I had known, I wouldn't have gone. He showed me where he was. I felt so sorry for him that I cried. I even forgot about my own situation.
5 liter bidon bi dama ko naan jël benen 5 liter bidon bu ndaw bi tam man naan because do xam yor fa jeexal.
He said to me yesterday when I returned, I drank 5 liters of water and I took the other small bottle and I drank too because everything was all the water
he was completely dehydrated.
Yes.
Munuma xamna lo wa fi ko xamwa daf suma fanan non damay dé. Mine bi ñu tëj sel bi ne ala bu la fa bayil ko mu dé fi.
He said when they locked the cell, they said in Mandinka, let him die there. He said, help me. And I said, if God wills, they will not take you. And he said to me, they said they are taking me tonight to kill me.
12 midnight.
I told him, when 12 midnight, it comes to 12 midnight, even if you are sleeping, you'll wake up because the manner in which they used to come into Demba said that each time he hears them coming, he used to tie his chest.
Then Père mu ne bi mu dégg loolu mo ne ha tay mom bi mu tay moy la sine may ray.
And Père too said that when he heard them coming,
mu door mir man ma Mbacke
he said to himself, this is the last day, and he hit my wall. He hit the wall to my cell and said, Mbacke, assist me. I told him, no, just calm down, they'll pass. They came and they passed him. They went to others and that came with him.
Your prayers worked.
It's not my prayers, Allah. They took them away and they came for others. When it's 3 a.m. in the morning, at least
how frequent was this?
Naka lañ daan faral di ñëw di def loolu.
How frequent?
Bo dañ ko def biñu arrest kay def nañ ko lu toll ñetti semaine bés bu dañoo jël nit yi.
They did that for when they were arrested for 3 weeks. They were constantly bringing people in and out.
Okay. Tell us about the conditions at Mile 2 while you were incarcerated there.
Jamono bi nga nekkee Mile 2 naka la foofu meloon.
Mile 2 kay man suma enemy sa dama yéene pour nga dem kaso man suma enemy.
I will not even wish my enemy to be at Mile 2.
Because benn lekk li ñuy jox nit.
First of all, the food that they give to people, you will not even give it to your dog to eat.
Secretary General.
Joguba is listening to me. I said to him, you are the Secretary General. I said to him, yeah, Jame, despite everything, if he saw the kind of food that they were giving to the prisoners, they will lock all of you up. I said, Yajam is not a bad person. It's the people who are surrounding him who have made him the way he is. And he's someone who listens with only one ear. If someone comes and tells him, Serin Fall, I've done this thing, he will not ask Serin Fall. He will beat Serin Fall. So later on, if he comes to realize the truth, he's always embarrassed to come forward and apologize. Yajame knew that they falsely accused me of being involved in the coup d'etat.
Okay, you were sentenced. Do you know whether any efforts were made to secure your release?
Léegi yow tëj nañ la ci kaso bi ndax xam nga ndax am na yenn jéego yoo xam ne am na ñu ko jël pour ñu bàyyi la.
Suma sëriñ.
My marabu.
What's his name?
Serin Salum Mbake.
Serin Salum Mbake.
What was done to secure your release?
Lan la def
bi ñuy arrêté xam nga dañu fañ fi EU meeting bi.
naka setut li nga ne.
He said after our arrest there was an AU summit in Gambia.
Oh, arrest. Okay.
Yeah. Serin
Salo.
Yonna Ablaye Wada fi.
He sent Ablaye Wada here.
Airport. $14 million. $14 million.
He stopped at the airport.
And what about the $14 million?
$14 million.
By group.
So that they will release the entire group.
And what about the $14 million?
$14 million.
He said that he will release us during the AU summit.
Who received that money?
Serin Saleh gave it to him to hand over to Yajame so that he could release us.
And you said Yajame promised to release you after the AU summit.
Wow.
That he will release all of us.
Did he do that?
Definitely.
Les meeting bi Ablaye Wade dafa dem ben rew. Ablaye Wade nako su meeting bi je demal nga fekk ki mu baye suma nit yi. Ablaye Wade dem ci meeting ba mu ñew fekk yone premier ministre fi. Xam kan mo nekkon ministre xam jigen bi la xam Idrissa Seck la. Mo nekkon fi. Ablaye Wade ñew. Bi ñu ñew man duma sétan téléphone de. Gaay ñi sétan télé ñi né Ablaye Wade dafa def yaa jëm ni. Mu ne ko lay mu binda kay di jokk. Gaay daw ñoo fekk ma suma mu ne kay sétan télé. Té dañu wara ñu sa série bi li mu wara def nako. Man fekk dégg naa news bi yëpp ñu ne Ablaye Wade dafa kii dafa yónnee Ablaye Wade ban dégg naa loolu ma gis kii bu ngay jox yaa ji ma kayit bi mu xool kayit bi meeting bi fi mu fan Ablaye Wade keroog fanaan bi noonu la ñibbi dafa mer yow nga wax sa morom sëriñ président mu ne nga dinaa def li mu ne wax sëriñ mu ne lii dina am nga mel ni waxuloo nit kii mu ñibbi bés au Sénégal.
No, he said when Ablaye Wade returned, during the meeting he was being represented by the Prime Minister. I can't tell who the Prime Minister was at the time. Could have been the lady or could have been Idrissa Seck. But when Ablaye Wade came, it was showed on television. In fact, my fellow prisoners came to me to ask me to come and watch what was being shown on telly. I saw that Ablaye Wade wrote a note and sent it to Yaya Jammeh and was gesturing to him questioningly. But afterwards, Ablaye Wade left. He was disappointed that Yaya Jammeh did not see through his promise. He had promised to do something. Ablaye Wade told his marabu, but Yaya Jammeh did not follow through. Continue, please.
And
that was how Ablaye Wada returned back to Senegal.
The
following week,
he
sent in a grandchild.
What's the person's name?
Imbas.
Serimbas.
What's his full name?
Serimbas Mbak.
There are lots of Serimbas in Tuba. Serimbas Abdul Hader, Serimbas Mutara. Who?
Serimbas Abdul Hader because more than protocol.
So Serimbas Abdul Hader was the protocol officer.
Porte parole.
When I got Damal said he, ne commandom Serin Tuba.
Said go and check this guy. I am a son of Serin Tuba. Tell him to be comfortable. He will live in peace. What I am supposed to do, I have done all. But this man, what he has said over television, disgrace will follow him. And I said that, and that disgrace will follow Yaya. When he's leaving this country, disgrace will follow him. And that has happened.
This emissary, did you meet him? Huh? This emissary, Serigne Bass Abdou Hader.
Serigne Bass Abdou Hader, gisee nga ak mom?
Yes, he saw me. They thought he was. They thought he was a Senegalese ambassador. When he requested to see me, they did
officer.
Quickly. That prison officer, because they did not take me to be serious. Alicia said it here. Why are you not always taking Serin Faal? It's your turn to take him. He said to me, come, let's go. So we went. The Marabu came. That day, the current was off. And at Pajuf's house in Brikama, his electricity was cut off because he has not paid his bills.
It's not allowed.
So the Sering removed 20,000 CFA, wanted to give to the officer, and I said to him, no, this is not allowed.
It's not allowed.
He said to me, what I'm supposed to give to your wife, I have already given it to her. This is for him. And I said to him, no, this is not allowed here. I said, I did that because I knew that these people, they did not take me to be anybody of significance.
So the essence of Serigne Bass's trip to you was to give you the assurance from Serigne Saliou that you would be released eventually.
He said I should persevere. All this is allegation. Serigne Tuba too, he was the alleged against him. Even Yusuf too, the prophet, was the alleged against him. He said, you are a disciple of Serigne Tuba. If you are accused of involvement in a coup d'etat, he said to me, if you were working on a coup d'etat, I would have known.
But you served your sentence and eventually you were released.
Yes, I was left with 6 months.
You were pardoned.
They said that we were pardoned. What I prayed, I told them 3 years prior that on this particular day, on a Friday, I would go home. And they heard, and they are listening to me, they can remember it. One day I told Pierre, our prayers have been answered. The Sering said that we are leaving on this particular day, which is going to be on a Friday. When was Yajame's pardon? It was on a Wednesday.
Could you say that again? The relatives of some of our colleagues spent the night outside Mile 2 prison, expecting that we were going to be released that day, but we weren't.
I told tell your wife not to come. She just waste her time because we are not going home today.
And
Wasa too. There were two people that I respected a lot.
No, there are two people there who revered me.
Oh, revered.
Yeah, more than the others.
Jane. Mo mana mo ñoron def li jaana mo jël sen liste yop touré yop fekk dégg na mu ne dafay ray nit yi
list of who
juroom ñent nit yi nga dañ leen ray
the 9 people that were killed, he took the list.
Aluba mana mom ben dëkk la ñu joggé alal
we are from the same village. Aluba
Lieutenant
Aluba MLF Jamme ki Lamin Jaaju Lamin Dabo Bakote deng ak ki kokta dof la sax Buyaka dof la.
In the end he lost his mind.
And Buyaka he was mental.
Ko dafa ray yaam ko nga dang ko ray ki Sonko tam lo tan ina ko tuma reeb ko jigen nga ko don teral ina ka dafa ray ko nga tejj ko nga ko ray ko.
Sonko too was accused of raping a woman he hosted. And two was killed.
Jibiba wa Senegal la mom dafa joge Senegal bimu ñu am semaine lay ko tuma nga dafa ray na mëna gisul niw.
He came here from Senegal just after 1 week and he was accused of killing someone and the corpse was not found.
And
they sentenced him to death and they executed him.
But
on this day when this was happening, for 3 days, Gambians are here. It was raining. I said to them, this will not bode well for Ajame. And also included in the they said that before they executed her, the junglers had canon knowledge of her. What happened here?
Gambia, fully informed.
One day I met up with Jagad in Lame. I told him one day.
Hara tuti defal ndanka ñu lapato li nga wax.
Mama Al.
Mën nga ko wax ndanka bamtu wat ko.
I think I should just leave it at that, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much. No further questions.
Mbakoko yarete badadale. Thank you very much, Mr. Faal, for your testimony and coming to share your experience with us.
Jërëjëf Serigne Faal li nga ñëw ni pour séddoo ñun li nga xam ne loolu nga daj.
Commissioners, if you have any questions, please indicate. So that if none, Serigne Faal, if you have any final remarks to make, please proceed to make them now.
Comme commissioner yi kenn amul lum la laaj bu fekkee ne yow am nga ay kàddu yu mujj yoo bëgg a gaaral mën nga koo def léegi.
Damay sant Yàlla door a sant Serigne Touba door a waral li ma war a wax.
Thank God.
Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillah. Jërëjëf Serigne Touba, jërëjëf Serigne Touba, jërëjëf Serigne Saliou Mbacké. Jërëjëf Serigne Touba, jërëjëf Serigne Saliou Mbacké. Du ko du fekk du Serigne Saliou Mbacké du ma toog fi.
If not for Serigne Saliou Mbacké, I wouldn't have been sitting here today.
Tey soo gis maa ngi toog fii gannaaw Yàlla yonent Serigne Touba because ñi seen yéene du ma génne kaso.
My sitting here today, apart from God and the Prophet, if only left for their own intention, I wouldn't have left prison.
Li ma wax mbe mi fu la Gambia ankol yi. What
I want to say to Gambians.
Gambia be mu baakilin faakilin.
Council,
Council,
could you ask the witness to slow down?
Slow down, huh?
Gambia.
We are all from the same father and mother. The assistance that the Jolas gave to me, Mandingas have not done that to me. Per is a Manjago. The assistant that Per gave to me, nobody gave that to me. And after we left prison, and we were told that we were released, they said we were pardoned, but that they were going to deport me. And I said, to deport me? I said, this is my daughter. Ask her. And she said, this is my father. Let's go to where the Gambians are. I said, if you can recall, while we were going to court, that time Lantomong came there as a witness when he was the CDS. There were 7 people who were his orderlies as soldiers. After he spoke and he went down, I raised my hand. The judge asked, what is this man saying? And I said to him, tell him to come. I said to him, you have not come to release us. You come to destroy us. I said there was a court martial, but you were not there. He did not go there. But they said, we are not men. I'll show you that I am a man. I said to him, I'll say something. Before I leave mile 2, you are going to come and join me there, and they are going to sentence you to death. I said to him, and that must happen. I said that despite the size of the prisons, when Lantombong comes in there, it's going to be close to me. And that was what happened. I thank Ensa Baji. He's a very good man. Ensa Baji. He's a very good man. He said that if he did not find in mile 2, they will kill him. He said his surname is not Baji. Yes. He said Ensa Jallo. Even now, that's what I used to call him, Ensa Jallo. I said to him, your wife is Jallo, and you are Jola. He said, this is the man who helped me. He was a good man. My relatives, they have abandoned me. Even now, when he sees me, he used to rush to me. If God had not helped him, he would have been killed. One day I saw him, he used to urinate blood and also vomit blood. I said to him, Esa, go to hospital. He said, I do not trust these people. I am the one who even forced him to go to hospital. At that time, the injuries on my legs were healed and my hand, but the injury on my head, up to this now, there's a blood clot there. But I said, I did not trust these people. I have to go to Senegal to seek treatment. So, but now you meet with those same people who met those brutalities to you. And you people say that people should reconcile. How would that happen? The day that I met up with Jagad in Lamin, if I did not take my time, I would have fought him. And up to today, I can beat Jagad anytime. And this is now you say that people should be together as one. One day I met with Malik Jata. I wanted to pounce on him. But when I saw him, I told these people, let's go. But they do not know the reason why. Malik was saying that to my wife's friend that if he had cut off my head and taken my head to Yaya Jammeh, he would have gotten 4 million. That is why I say that it is a lie when they say that they never get money for the things that they were doing.
Shaloto. Be as quiet as Yata Jan, before Yaya come on. But I mean, Italian.
Wo fo ko tenke bang.
Nko. Ya jimati Jan, ya mean, Tafra Jan, be ya mean, can you over.
What they have done for these people, they will not say it today because he's not here.
Jimbo.
Jimbo.
Dolka Lamin So.
Some call him Alaji So.
Lamin So.
Lamin So.
Abe prison.
He's at the prisons.
Prison albe bantamini ya munkamefo.
The prison, some prisoners are
outside. Be over prison dokola.
Who here?
Same Balta Gambia. Maluba.
And the prisoners are outside who are hearing what I'm saying. That man is a shame to the Gambia, a big shame for Gambia. Even the day that the director came here, he came along with him.
He said, it's a big shame that he is still walking there. Is that what you said?
Yes. I mean,
what he did to Jana is a small thing.
Jana Jumbo. The Jumbo, Jimbo.
Jana came and said,
Jimbo.
Jumbo, it's not Jumbo.
Director BJP, Nia Mafro fine, Mantra Toyaka. Mantra Director Makariba transfer Gana con interior. Natra Sarga Mulaka Ben Sambala interior. Why? You can Silla. This is Rebella Hayotingal. Fuela Jobo Kundagana Kohani. Kaitaye Kumasuma. Amananka, it in Plaza Bata, everybody diverted in Plaza, the Western Senegal. You come and be Mana Plaza and Devil. But only one telephone down. Mana telephone Sabagan down.
Mane doesn't call me and he doesn't answer me anymore.
My call. I don't know Tiarasani, Jimbo Lajana, come one more Latina.
The day Mane came to TRRC, he came along with Jimbo and they are just tarnishing other people's images.
Jimbo and no more couldn't the prison.
Jimbo is the worst person to be in the prison system.
Prison official Yalon coming for Nintra Fanial. The
prisoners know him and all the workers there also know him. I will not swear on
Musa Susole Jimbo Sim Mile 2.
Musa Suso is the person who took Jimbo to Mile 2.
Why Musa Sobira problem?
But when Musa Suso got into a problem,
Jimbo Musa Bonica Haleb and Tuba full sin.
Jimbo takes Musa out so that and he meets another white man called Atodum.
David Fulsin.
David Fulsin. People are listening to me. Jimbo is listening to me. If he denies what I'm showing, the reason why Mane hasn't done anything to Jimbo, he's afraid because that's why. Because he thinks if he dismisses Jimbo, they will destroy him too. Gambians. Stop being afraid. Try and establish the truth. The truth will always triumph. Where is Yaya Jammeh today? Those who put him in trouble, they are here. But Yaya is away. He did something bad, but people aided him to be able, for him to be able to do the same thing. And the same thing, that's what they are still doing with Barrow also. Sidin Jai stood over the TV and said, Barrow will not be sworn in this country. The amount of money I spent for the amount of money I spent for Gambians in Senegal is too much.
Who made that Sidin Jai?
Who caused that is because of Sidin Jai. Sidin Jai. Now he is building a compound at Bakau. Who is helping him? Barrow. Barrow, let Barrow know that one day his term will also come to an end. Where is Yaya Jammeh? He ran away with one wife, but Barrow has 2 wives and children. The day, his day is coming. The only thing that will remain will be Allah's
This man is what is not true.
You can ask Boriture.
I was sentenced, I was convicted by a Commonwealth judge. But he said, I am not guilty. Ask Boriture. Proceed, please.
10. When I was in jail, my children's education...
300 plot.
Tuba, they gave me a plot in Tuba, about 300 plots, but before I came out, everything went haywire.
Now, start zero.
Zero. I started I was in jail when they sold my compound at Kirsering here.
Sanyang.
100
by 75.
100 by 75.
The
man gave me money, paper for me to give him money. But where?
Zero.
Now I am at zero. My children came to an end.
20,000
I owe them $20,000. Now the school is open, but I cannot return my children to school. My compound, if I don't build it in Tuba, there is no way for me to do it. Now the moment I am... If people cannot help me. Formerly, I was helping people to pay their children's school fees, but nobody has done that same kindness. If I don't come here to tell the truth, I know nobody will know the truth. But Gambians are enemies to each other. Some people think that I have been killed, but no, I am here. I was on board a ferry and I heard people saying, Yaya Jammeh killed a Marabu. But there was an old woman who said, he is not dead. The other woman said, no, he didn't kill him, but they said, he is no longer potent. Then another woman told them, the moment they left him from jail, he got twins, a female and a male child. But that old woman thought that I didn't recognize her. I told the woman, if I had not been on board the ferry, you will know that I am stronger than your husband. But I said, yeah, Jammeh has gone. The soldiers were on board a ferry. But something is happening in the Gambia. But the way they are preparing Barrow, what Barrow will do in this country will be more than what Yaya Jammeh ever did. I am telling this, even if I die, one day you will know a Marabu.
Former immigration officer,
Pambub, former immigration officer. I went to demand for my passport because I have not got it. He said that he heard that I was saying that I saw Yaya Jammeh riding a bicycle. He said that was the day he liked me. So when I went to collect my passport, he asked me, are you Sering Faal? I said yes. He said, sit down, sit down, sit down. He said, I will not give you an ordinary passport. I will give you a diplomatic passport. But what you know, many Gambians don't know. But Gambians will not know me.
They cannot know me.
They cannot know me. But what I pray, may Allah establish the truth. Talk to Barrow to establish the truth. Well, what Barrow is doing, one day you will see. Me, if I still think of Sidinjai, I get angry. Because Barrow's father is not older than me. Even if so, it will not be much. What they did to me, if they do it to Barrow's father, I will be the first person for him to help. But ask him, he never give me a butur. If Pambu brought 40 vehicles here. And after these vehicles were divided among those who got it in the Gambia, not even a single person mentioned it. You will know that Gambians are very bad. Now today he is dead. What about his family? Yes, he is dead. What about his family? If the same thing happens to me today, what about my family? That's what I'm thinking. And Pambub's state is like for Gambia. What he did for 3 years. 3 years I used to stay at Pambub's compound at Nemasu.
So, what
I'm telling Gambians, let's try and be. I told Musa Suso, I told him, you are Barrow's advisors. I spent days with him in the jail. Musa Suso knows the day they brought that dead bull there, he was there. I didn't eat it.
I was not there. But Musa
was there, and I prayed for him when he went. He won. Yes. But I told Musa, I told him, talk to Barrow. He has left the right path. We are all the same mother and father. Let's forgive each other. Gambians who thought that I'm dead, I'm not dead. I still go and come. But Senegalese know me, but Gambians will not know me. Jane said this. When Barrow was sworn at the Gambian embassy in Senegal, Macky Sall invited people for dinner at a hotel. I went there. Jane saw me. He hugged me.
Former Interior Minister.
Former Interior Minister.
My Fati.
He talked to Jane. Jane said, this is the man who from committing suicide. I dreamt that Jane killed himself. Don't commit suicide. And I told him, in a week, you will be left.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, you will go to America. In 2 weeks, Americans send people to come and collect them.
So, this is
what I have to say. Gambians forgive me.
And at the Adelaide.
Adelaide, yes. Her daughter spoke here. She's now in Mali. Yes. So in the Gambia, who has been spared? Nobody. Nobody has been spared. And still, that's what's going on in this country. Please forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me.
Thank you very much, Serigne Faal, for coming to testify.
And
thanks, Emma, for your final remarks.
Although
our role is to create an impartial historical record of violations and abuses that occurred in the Gambia 1994 to 2017.
Toñerolu ning nyanta tiñalu menu kata nying Gambia banko kang kabo 1994 sango kata 2016 sango kono.
Your warnings are not irrelevant.
Ila dandala rolu manke ku ken sango lutide.
they contextualize our motto, never again.
Andu na sando momenti wala anene kanake.
We probably should see it in that context.
Nyanta jubela wala nyama.
But thank you again very much, Emma, for your testimony.
Inumbara kendeke. Puruila sede arokan.
We will end our proceedings for this week and resume Monday morning at 10 o'clock.
Bitum ñin lokon la do ko dan na janne fo tenen lungu somanda na benjam ko tek.
Thank you all very much and have a good weekend, and meeting is adjourned.
Allah baraka bake bitum bi mbe dan na janne